Okay, kind of semantics, might affect the way that rapids work. Okay, now if we recall, we need to do the tab machining before we drill the hole, but on the slot we want to do the slotting after we do our drilling. So we're actually going to move the slot all the way down to the bottom, and that way when our drill bit's going through, we're not affecting the thickness of the slot itself. Okay, so let's go up to the tab routine. So we're going to go edit, and yes, we know we need to regenerate it, and we're using a big old slot mill. And we're going to keep all the feeds and speeds the same. We need to select what geometry we're using. So we're picking this edge, and we don't want to propagate along Z. And we're going to select the 3 edges that make up the line. We should be able to leave all this at default. Go to the next tab. We should be able to leave all this at default. Go to the next tab. Leave all that at default. Last tab, leave it all at default. And we get our cuts that cut the top of it. So why don't we say tab top is the name of that routine. Okay, we're going to go to the next one, and all we should have to do is we go to geometry tab, and we select our individual lines, deselect propagate along Z, so that we're not getting the entire chain, we're just getting those elements I selected. Okay, we're going to zoom out, and we should be able to accept those at default. Okay, so this should be our roughing cut. It's cutting below the tab. So why don't we change this to rough, bottom rough, and then this will be this other one will become bottom finish. Okay, let's regenerate the bottom finish. And we're going to select our 3 lines. And we should be able to accept that. So we got our tab top, our tab bottom, our tab finish. Now we're going to come through and we're going to do our spot drilling. And it looks like I mislabeled this. So this is not the spot drill. This is our ream drill. Sorry about that. Let's change the drill 5 to spot drill. And the clue should have been that it's deep drilling. So this is actually out of order. So we want the spot drill lifted out next. Go edit. Yes, I know I need to change geometry. Keep the first tab at default. We're going to select our 2 holes. And it should cut them. And we want to do order by depth, so that just means which one's going to go first. And then we're going to go to the next tab. And we're going to leave all this at default, so it's going to, relative to the top of each hole, it's going to go to the same depth. And I actually want to change that to whatever the deepest would be. So the largest hole is 65 thousandths. So we want negative 0.065 divided by 2. And it's going slightly deeper, not much. And then on the next tab, we leave it at default. Alright, rolling on. Now we're going to go to the reaming drill. let's call that pre-ream drill. Okay. And we're going to go edit, and we're going to select 3 hole features. For that routine, and we make sure auto merge hole segments is selected, and let's put order by depth, and then I believe it does the shallow ones first. From hole top to hole bottom, we're going to break through, and we're going to go 10,000 steeper, so that will work in both applications. Okay, we're going to go to the next tab. We're going to leave all that default. Okay, so now we've drilled those. Now let's come back with our small reamer, which is only going to drill this hole here. We go edit, and we're going to select, well, it's these two inline holes it's going to drill. Do a reaming on. We should be able to keep everything else at default and accept. And now we're going to do our large ream, which is the loose fit on here for the 16th pin. We're going to go edit. Yes. Okay, and we're going to go to geometry, and we're going to select the single hole, and we go to this tab. It should be all still at default, and our last tab, leave that at default. There we go. All we have left is the slot, so we're going to select the slot. We're going to go edit. Okay, we're going to geometry, and we're going to select the edge here. We want to deselect propagate along Z. And so we're going from top, and our top is defined as the top edge of our slot. So we need to reselect that position, and the rest of it should heal itself. So we're cutting between here and our profile. The next step, we should be able to leave all that at default. Following step should be all at default, and we'll hit select. And we get our cut. There we go. We've just programmed the 117 by recycling. Hopefully you didn't get too lost on here. Hopefully the labeling I've put on here will help us on the future ones. And we're going to be copying basically these 2 routines to do not only the 143 but the 145. The only difference is we won't be using the slot mill to cut the tabs on the other side, because we can orientate the part so that the flat's facing up. So we'll come in with a end mill to do that flat on that. Other than that, pretty much we can recycle both sets, the lathe and the milling, for those other 2 parts. Okay, so again, you got to upload 2 setup sheets and 2 NC files for this assignment.